ゲームボーイソフトカービィのピンボール
I thought I might as well start now that it played Kirby. I set up a thing that plays ads randomly, just like random Japanese ads, and I had to personally download, like, every single ad. And when I later looked at how many had I downloaded, it was 500 videos, and I had no clue. I just went through, like, so long, it was kind of fun to do those, I don't mind it. But I was blown away by, like, oh my god. That was such a crazy amount of time spent just doing that one thing. Matthias, I have a very important question to ask via chat. Okay? Please stand by DMs. Okay. Hello, Lula. Hello, real time. Now I'm worried. What made you decide to play Kirby today? Well, I did play a bit of Kirby, last stream. And I thought maybe I could finish Kirby this stream. And if I do finish it, then I might start the new, quote-unquote, new Kirby Forgotten Land game. We'll see. Because there's also, like, a PlayStation thing happening later today. I don't typically I'm not a journalist, really. I don't really talk about PlayStation that much, but it might be a bit fun to just, like, watch. We could see what happens. I did get the new Kirby, and I've just not played it because I wanted to play Kirby 64, or I wanted to finish it. Hold on. DMs. Let's analyze. So you sent me this. I mean, I'll butter pecan. I guess I'll pick butter pecan. Yeah, butter pecan seems good. Oh yeah, I should probably start from this, right? And it's right here. Okay, cool. I think I have no clue if this is but like the last series of levels in this game. I have no clue. I'm just assuming. Gut feeling, right? Okay, this does not seem like a fat last level kind of thing, and I screwed up immediately. Okay. Okay. I guess I've never... That doesn't count, actually. I guess I've never had to, like, try to swallow those guys before. I guess I did not know that until now. Because I could always do something like this, right? I've just never even bothered. Have you guys played this game with the N64 controller? Because it feels so much better. I did talk about this last time I played this, but it really is a huge improvement to play with the original N64 controller. And I have the SNES controller coming now. I don't think the SNES controller will matter that much, right? But I did kind of want to just have it. How did I mess that up? Man, what do I have to talk about? I had pad thai. That's about it. Yeah, so it is, I bought the Switch N64 controller. Oh wait, you asked, right, the new Kirby game. I don't think so. I think there's probably too many controls that would not work with it, right? And I did try to play the SNES, like SNES games with the N64 controller, but for whatever reason, it just did not work. I don't know if that's like something they did intentionally. All I heard about the N64 controller was it was bad for your thumb. Yeah, it's definitely... How should I put this? I was thinking about this. Would I actually, like, recommend this controller if anyone asked? Like, should I get the N64 controller for the Switch? Per your recommendation, should I do it? And I don't know. I feel like the N64 controller is genuinely, like, a terrible controller. And at the same time, I would recommend it just because it gives, like, a more interesting or better way to play it. What's your opinion on the new Steam controller? I think I've only tried the Steam controller once at a friend's place. And it just did not, like, I don't know. I guess I didn't really see the appeal. It was just, like, a different way of, like, holding... Oh my god, dude. This is so messed up. I think the Switch controller is probably the most comfy controller, but then again, you know, bear in mind I am a Nintendo shill. I am best friends with Shigeru Miyamoto, so please bear that in mind. And this is overpowered. It would be really funny to have an ongoing bit that I am best friends with Shigeru Miyamoto, but I always, like, take it super seriously. Your uncle does in fact work in Nintendo. That is true. That is, like, technically you could argue that, like, in Sweden, because there's, like, a whole, like, distributor in Sweden. And they're not too far from where I live. Can I say... But did I just dox myself? Hold on. Well, they're not very... exist in Sweden, the nation in which I live. I did go there as a child. I did talk about this already on stream. That I went there to the official Nintendo headquarters in Sweden as a child. And I met a little person dressed up as Mario because it was like they were having like a festivities thing. And he was super scary. And I don't know if that was the real Mario or not. It could have been. Do you know Vine? So I don't think I can do that kind of joke about a real person. I'm saying that as if Shigeru Miyamoto is not real. But he'll never watch this, I'm assuming. I think he would only watch my stream if I was playing Pikmin. I don't think he would watch me playing Kirby or Mario. So in that sense, I think I'm fine. Steam Controller 2 in server. Oh yeah, I could look at that a little bit, for sure. I am curious. I've been on a bit of a controller, like, what do you call it? Hyperfixation lately. Just like super interested in like game controllers and like how they, I guess I know how they work. There's no way this is fucking real. Are you trolling me right now? This is not real, is it? This is the new Steam controller? No, this is like a troll image. What is this? I have not, okay, I have not seen this. I have to look up real quick if this is real. What the fuck? It's real. Not seen, but there's also 4 back buttons. You know what? Someone's taken away the peak of the N64 controller. I don't know what to say about this. I was just complaining about the N64 controller, and now I'm like, I believe again. I believe in the N64 again. You've made me believe. Rate out of 10. I mean, I feel like I would have to try it before I properly rate it, but I mean, I need to show the second pick, I think. This does not actually look better. I was about to say, well, this looks kind of better. No, I don't think this looks good. It might actually look worse now that it looks a bit more realistic. And you're saying 4 back buttons? No, it for one, look at the joysticks on that thing. That looks so uncomfortable. Like, do you have a controller? Okay, this, I think this one is just like an AI generated image, isn't it? We can skip that. But even if we look at this, that doesn't look comfortable at all. And you know what? I did try, here's me Nintendo shilling again. I did try the Switch Pro Controller 2, and that, basing that on like my little teeny tiny experience playing that, I was like, wow, this might be like the most comfy controller I've ever experienced. And I guess, would you guess this looks comfy? I guess based on this, it might not look comfy either. So it's hard to say, right? Yeah, I guess I have to try it before I give a proper, like, judgment. Hold on, I will add one more controller, though. Okay? And we need to talk about this in comparison to all of these things. I think you can probably assume what I'm gonna bring up, right? Which one is, like, the most iconic? And does that actually play an importance in controllers, right? I saw somebody with a controller that was basically a Saturn controller with 2 analog sticks. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of tempted. Huh. The Saturn controller, isn't that a really bad... I keep adding controllers to the screen. Hold on. Because now we have to talk about this as well. The Saturn controller, I had that as a kid. Why is this huge? This was awful to play on. No, I don't think there's any adjustment that can make this look better. I think the Sega Saturn controller might be the worst one out of all of these. That one loses. We're skipping that one. Delete. I mean, is there something to be said about, like, how iconic a controller can be purely by aesthetic? I think I have to say, though, like, the N64 controller is pretty damn good out of these. This could... Oh my god, controller tier lists. Are we going to do that? Are we? I don't know if I haven't... Do I have enough experience to say about that? Nah, I think it would just be, like, kind of generic. I don't know. I am completely willing to be proven wrong. I'll sum it up like this. I am completely willing to be proven wrong. That maybe this is, like, the most comfortable controller ever. But it's so ugly, man. It's so ugly. And I think despite how unappealing the N64 controller is, there's something to be said about appeal and how iconic a controller is. And this is iconic, but in the worst way possible. This is going to be made... I can very easily see someone making, like, a character based on this controller. And it's just gonna get trolled endlessly. But you know what? Then we're gonna learn to love that character, and we'll come around. Maybe we will do, like, a controller tier list one day. I do kind of want to finish Kirby. Maybe we could do that if we finish this game, and then before we start the next Kirby. I think I'm heading in the wrong direction. I mean, I forgot where I was going. My favorite controller is the DualShock 4. That's like the PlayStation... Oh, man. You know what? We're going to be talking about controllers a lot, aren't we? We might as well do a tier list right now, because otherwise it's going to be me looking up controllers like crazy. And I'm kind of curious now. Now, fortunately, I did actually set up the browser earlier, but that was for the state of play. Alright, I was thinking we might watch this, but now I need to look up controller tier list. That's enough monkey music. I would regret that. I like playing Doom clones with a numpad. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I might go back to the numpad in the future. Right now, well, I have a drawing pad, right? So it's very good to be able to move that around. How do I play this again? How do I do anything anymore? Right. It's all coming back. Is this the right way? Kirby? Hi. So I was thinking about this yesterday because, like, I was playing a bit of Star Fox on the N64 controller. And it feels so different playing that game compared to the Switch Pro controller, right? Because it's just not built in the same way. Like, sure, the Pro controller is more accessible in general. In general, a better controller. But playing it on the N64 controller, again, I realized there's so much, like, lacking in just how the game was made. And using stuff like the yellow C buttons and whatnot. It's, like, completely different. But I feel like, in general, like, feeling should be accounted for a bit in games. It already is, I would say. But I remember being a kid and growing up and having friends tell me, right, like, just play it on just emulate the game, right? Just play it on PC and emulate it. Just pirate it. But I feel like there's something to be said about just, like, feeling in general and playing on hardware. Like, maybe I just grew up in a very specific, like, friend group where it was encouraged to be, like, PC only. So because of that, I'm kind of like, no, I don't think that's quite right. Damn it. And now, looking back at that, I can be like, man, god damn it. Oh, god. How do I get it back? It's gone forever. Never mind. Am I giving up on that? Fuck you. Yeah, I guess maybe it's only dependent on the kind of group you're in, right? I have no clue if this is final level. But I have enjoyed the game so far. I wondered why we don't have 6 face buttons in a similar style to either the N64 controller, old school Xbox. It seems like it would be easy enough to make, but the standard never changed. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like so much in terms of, like, the PS1, Xbox, N64 is, like, aesthetic in a way we don't do controllers anymore, right? Like, now all controllers kind of look the same, don't they? So I don't know, I feel like there's something, like, lacking purely in aesthetic that we don't account for now, that I kind of miss. But it's also hard to be like, hey everyone, let's do the new N64 controller. But I think maybe there's something to that, just like the variety in games. Maybe we will get that out of, like, the new Steam controller or whatever. Maybe they can do, like, something with that that's more varied that I can't see yet. Oh my god, see, you never do anything. Thanks, I guess. Okay, never mind. Oh my god. Okay. Once. No? Can't do anything here? What? Huh? This has never happened before, has it? Oh, it's like he's invincible. Okay, I get it. Alright. There's something really interesting about the level design of this game, I would say. I did it. It's really different compared to, like, other platformers in a really, like, interesting way that I wouldn't be able to, like, put into words right now. Because I don't know if it's necessarily made with Kirby's controls in mind, is it? First Kirby game? I guess so. I guess you could say that. I played Kirby on the SNES a really long time ago. I think it might have been like up there among my first games. So I could not remember it as being Kirby even. Like I played it, and it wasn't until like maybe like a couple of years ago that I looked at that game and I was like, wait, I played this as a kid. I just didn't know it was a Kirby game at the time. Oh, wait, what? What is happening? Okay, this is kind of interesting. Because, yeah, it's like an experiment room. I see. This is... Okay, I can see the logic. You kind of want me to do something like this, right? Oh my god, drill? Cool. So I guess it's more like this is my first proper Kirby. I assume I did not get very far playing the SNES one. That must have been like a rental or something like that. I can't remember how we had that. Do I want any new powers? I'm kind of happy with drill at the moment. I'm pretty good. I can see the logic. They're throwing everything at me so that I can experiment with every single power possible at the end of the game. I have to applaud them for that. It's pretty damn good. I am really curious how this will compare jumping immediately to Forgotten Land after this. Also, I quite like the music in this game, I have to say. It's up there amongst like those N64 classics, I would say, despite not having really heard the music here before. What would you call it as MIDI? Is everything from this era MIDI? Which gave me an opportunity to try Kirby's Dream on Game Boy, and that made me smile. That and Kirby's Adventure made me in touch. I should go and try those for sure. God damn it. I'm happy with drill. I think I did try Kirby's Dream Land a little tiny bit. Or I tried all the Kirby games a little tiny bit. But I do want to give them a proper try before I like fully judge them. Does anyone know if this is the final level of a game or series of levels? Did I just make that up? Has anyone played this game? Backseaters? I've played the lane. Oh yeah. Do you remember if this is the final series of levels in the game? Wait, who is the evil boss in this game even? I know there's like a whole secret ending that I'm not going to get. I am aware of that. I don't know. I always feel like I'm doing something wrong whenever I get one power-up in this game. And I'm like, I'm only using this power-up from now on. It's all drill, baby. Kirby. Ray, do you remember if this is like the final series of levels in this game? Or have I completely fooled myself into thinking this is like the final stages? There's no wrong way to play Kirby. Just like, yeah, I think maybe... Sorry, I was reading the chat. I can do it. I should make a save state just because I'll probably be reading the chat. I think that is part of why I'm enjoying Kirby a lot, I think. Part of, like, it doesn't really feel like there is any wrong way to play it, right? Like, only going drill mode is perfectly fine. That's just a part of the game. I do genuinely not know, though, how to tell the difference between an enemy that gives a power and one that doesn't. Am I supposed to be aware? Where's that all trial and error? I'm at the end of a game, and I'm like, I don't know how this part works. Yeah, Kirby? Hey, just come at me, bro. Just do it. I can be here forever. I'm waiting for you. Am I playing the game wrong, guys? Okay. Okay, not what I was going for. Pretty good, though. What is that? Just a question mark? Is this a final boss? I mean, it feels like this has to be the final level then, right? Or is there something else after this? Yeah, that's the end? My god. How do I feel about this? Yeah, I really like this. I like the game, I guess. Maybe there's like another... Okay, this seems like a boss kind of ordeal for sure. It's just jumping straight in. What the hell? Was this the... Oh, I guess... I don't remember if this was the guy from the first cutscene. Is this the guy? I kind of like how surreal and spooky the enemies are, though. Like, you get cute stuff, and then you get this stuff where it's like... imperceptible monster. Is this a good attack? I don't know. Maybe not. Ow. I feel like I said this last time I played this, but I can kind of compare it to Bomberman in a weird way for the N64. Just in terms of, like, puzzles and, like, what you do when figuring stuff out, I guess. Okay, fascinating. Interesting. Bubbles. Okay, not how you do it. That's how you do it. Yeah. Bomberman 64. Second Attack. I did play that one. I played, 2 games from the N64. I remember one was, like, pretty different from the other one. But I liked both. The one was definitely the game that I played more with friends. And the other more like, just single-player stuff, kind of. Man, I would love to play Bomberman. But I hate playing that game on the emulator, actually, so I won't be doing that. Maybe if it comes back here on the NSO, then I'll do it. What the fuck? Yeah, I think... Which one am I thinking of? So, I think Bomberman might be the earliest thing I ever drew. Like, the earliest memory I have of drawing anything. So Bomberman always feels like an iconic design to me for that reason. Like, I think I had my own Bomberman OC and everything. I can't remember what he looked like. The memories there. I need to make a Bomberman OC. I guess maybe Bomberman is not that interesting to have an OC of. Because it's just like, what does he do? Well, he bombs stuff, I guess? Cool. Was there ever, like, a Bomberman cartoon? I could see that being a thing. Oh. Oh yeah, I can do this, potentially. Can I really beat the boss like this? Is this cheating? No way. There's no cheating. There's only Kirby. I guess oh, that's interesting. He's kind of immune to that. I feel like I'm invulnerable. Did he shield himself up? Like he's aware that I'm cheating? Oh, that's kind of interesting. I think he changed his attack so he's always, like, immune to it. I think he kind of did. Alright, I think this is, like, a pretty good final boss, though. It definitely is better than some of the previous bosses, but those were way too hard. It is kind of... I don't know how I feel about, like, bosses without a personality, though. It's kind of hard to relate to that as a kid. I think that is probably what I would have looked at as a kid. Of, like, cool boss fight, but I also can't identify with a villain like this the same way I can with, like, Bowser or Ganon, right? Kirby being deceptively difficult games is kind of funny. It was quite a surprise. Yeah, I can see that for sure. Yeah, I would say, going back to controllers, it's so much preferable playing this on the N64 controller, though. Something about the Switch controller was off, namely, mostly the scheme. Because even this fight, I would have probably just thrown away everything immediately. I'm really curious how the new game is going to, if it's going to baby me. Or will it be just as difficult? I don't think I'm gonna make this, but it's so deceptively close, right? It's such a strange platformer to control, is also the thing. Oof. It really went right for me. Missed it. Take it. Nope. It would have been epic. It's epic. It was a crystal all along. Final cutscene. Okay, cool. It's a very cute game. not really a whole lot of story. Oh my god. I am aware there is a, like a different ending. And I guess that alludes to that. I like the game. I don't think... I wish I had played this as a kid. I did not know a single person who had this game. I knew nothing about it. I don't even know. I think the way that I looked at Kirby, it was just like... He looks too much like Jigglypuff. And I don't like Jigglypuff. I guess that was my logic. What if Jigglypuff had his own game? Okay, cool. Not playing that. Masahiro Sakurai? Wait, he was a voice actor? Interesting. Who is Sakurai voicing in this game? I guess this is like a good example of like how... Does Dedede make any voice? I don't know. Shigeru Miyamoto, okay, he worked on this. I think this is a good example of like how varied the N64 actually was with like platformers and stuff like that. Like I think Mario 64. Meanwhile, there's like a whole thing to it that's so different. 64%, I don't think that's too bad. Am I crazy for saying that? Maybe it is. I want to kind of watch the first one again. Let's go back to the beginning. And see how it ties to the end. I think maybe if I had played this as a kid, I would have been turned off and been like, is this for girls? What the hell? It's so pink. Just platformers alone are pretty varied to me at 64. Yeah, I think that's a very good thing. Like, weren't platformers... Maybe this is my Nintendo shill moment again, but... Platformers on the PS1 were kind of samey, weren't they? Like, Croc, Crash... They are kind of different. I think it's just Croc that comes to mind as like, I don't know, extremely generic. Man, this is aesthetic though. This would have turned me around and be like, you know what? This is epic. This is cool. Spyro was pretty sick. That is true. I did like Spyro as a kid. Alright, maybe they were pretty buried on the PS1. I assume most, like, game developers weren't like, we want to make something so generic, it's gonna blow everyone's minds. It doesn't have a story. Well, it does have a story. But it's kind of interesting in how... I don't know how much is perceived without, like, any words. God, that's horrifying. I'm not gonna look... Do I want to look up a true ending on YouTube? I don't think I want to. Maybe I want to keep that a mystery. Or maybe one day I want to be able to try to see that myself. Alright. Good game. I liked it. I was a fan. Quite enjoyed that. I reorganized... Maybe not super interesting. But I reorganized all the games in this based on when they were released. I didn't do that by hand. You can just do it right here. It's kind of interesting to look at, like, how... I guess it's not relatively late. Is it? I mean, 2000 released 96. I guess I thought the game came out earlier. I thought this was like among the launch titles, maybe. I guess that is kind of interesting. Because, yeah, 2001... That's like when the console was like dying off. So 2000... Considering that, that's kind of interesting. I didn't really put that into like my thought process, but around Majora's Mask, okay. Interesting. Now I play Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Let's frickin' go. I'm curious, how different is this going to be? I'm not gonna play with this with an N64 controller. Not even gonna try. I don't think that's gonna work. Kirby double feature. Oh yeah, I have to change like the stream now.